All right, hey, welcome back to the show, everyone. Bama, I see you're here early today. What's going on, Bama? We're doing some flight sim stuff. So yesterday, I know I said that we were gonna do modern naval warfare today, but after yesterday's stream, I got so fixated on what was going on with Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I was like basically dreaming about it last night. And I woke up this morning and you said, you know what? I know this can work properly. I know I can get it better than what it was, even though all of our flights were successful with all of the bugs and glitches. But I want to optimize this and make it work right. So first thing I did early this morning was I was like, you know what? I'm going to unload all of my mods off of the system and try a flight with none of my mods active. And it went off without a hitch. No problems, no stuttering, no autopilot disconnects, no issues whatsoever. It was perfect. So I basically started asking the AI a bunch of questions about what I could do and what's what. And she gave me some ideas. So today we're going to go through that and test and see what we could do to get this thing running correctly. But first things first. Top 10 gaming news headlines for today, June 5th, 2026. Valve confirms Steam Machine and Steam Frame launching this summer. Valve says its long-awaited hardware lineup is finally ready with multiple outlets reporting a summer release window. Now, don't quote me on the price on this and we can figure it out later. I believe that the Steam Machine is going to be upwards of around, I'm going to say between $1,500 and $1,700 for a console. So there's that. PlayStation reveals God of War Laufey at State of Play. Fans are buzzing after Sony showcased the new Faye-focused spin-off, sparking major speculation about story twist. Subnautica 2 devs detail major upcoming updates. Unknown Worlds shares new info on features coming for its 4 million players, including calmer predators and new regions. Rayman Legends Retold announced full 3D remake coming October 1st. Ubisoft confirms a modern reimagining of the classic platformer with hands-on previews already generating hype. Destiny 2's final content update drops June 9th. Bungie urges players to log in for the last major update as petitions for Destiny 3 surge past 350,000 signatures. New PS5 accessories announced for 2026, flight stick, monitor, and more. PlayStation confirms release dates and pricing for its new Flex Strike flight stick, QHD monitor, and wireless speakers. That's because Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is available on PS5 and Ace Combat 8 is coming out. So that's what that's all about. June 2026 game release wave begins. Massive lineup across all platforms from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to Gothic 1 Remake. June is packed with major launches and showcases. GTA 5 cheat services were hacked. Thousands of gamers exposed. A major breach hits a popular cheat provider, leaking user data and raising security concerns. Discord launches Nitro Rewards, includes Xbox Game Pass Access Nitro. Subscribers now get the base tier of Game Pass at no extra cost. And Roblox adds new AI tools for game planning, building, and testing. Roblox continues its AI push with new agentic tools for creators. All right, well, there we go. There's our top 5. All right, so that's our top 5. So back to where we were. Let's get to where I was. So I asked the AI a whole bunch of questions, unloaded everything off of the simulator, had a test flight, and everything worked perfectly. I'm going to say it was all perfect. But I noticed some of the defects in it were like once I did our flight that we did yesterday from Key West to Miami. And once I got to Miami, so I don't know if you remember, Shadow, the blue line that's supposed to lead you to the parking. Well, that actually functioned without my custom airport added to it. So once you remove the airport, the customized airport, it's no longer realistic gate parking. It's just like a generic, gates 1 through 103, so it doesn't have like the real sim feel to it. I also learned that actually downloading the mods onto the system help with performance issues. So we're going to go through that today. We're going to go one by one. We're going to add a mod. So if we see here, we go to my library. I've already added one this morning. And in the middle of doing all of this, we're going to ask the AI questions about what we're doing. So far, all I installed was the A380 1000 Professional. All right. I've got everything is still set to stream. And then I unloaded. See, everything is set to stream, which that causes performance issues. So, like we landed at Miami and everything pulled up to the gate, but streaming them is causing some of the load or the spike issues and the bottlenecking issues. So we're going to go with, I need to move this out of the way. I don't like where it's at. It's like right in my way. Okay. So we're going to actually install these one by one and we're going to see. So let's see. Let's ask this question. Can you explain to me the air traffic aircraft pack by Azobo Studio Microsoft for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024?
Absolutely, I can break that down for you. So the air traffic aircraft pack by Asobo Studio for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is essentially an upgrade to the default AI traffic in the sim. What it does is it adds a huge variety of real-world airline liveries, over 1,000 of them, so that the AI aircraft you see in the game look more like real airlines from around the world. So instead of seeing just a few generic planes, you're going to see a lot more realistic traffic at airports. That means major carriers like American, Delta, British Airways, and Minior are represented. Basically, it's a nice way to make the world around you in the simulator feel a lot more immersive and realistic. Anything else you want to dive into?
So, there it is. So that's our aircraft traffic pack. So, and you're right. Like, it's a shame it comes to this. So also what I did yesterday, Shadow, is I deleted Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I uninstalled the 709 gigs of that or I did that this morning because, okay, if I have to install everything to the PC for better performance, then I needed the space. So I deleted all of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, all 709 gigs of it. So here we go. And not everything, this won't be 709 gigs worth. So, it shouldn't take that long. But what we're going to do first was we're going to take a flight. We're going to take our first flight so you can see the difference between when the mods were on yesterday and now that they're off. So we're going to do a free flight again. And we're going to head down to Key West just like we were yesterday. We're using a generic the plane that comes with the game with a generic skin. I don't have the skin packs downloaded. I don't have anything downloaded on here except that one plane. like even the parking space. So now that I've unloaded it, you could tell by looking here, it doesn't look the same as it did yesterday. Like it's not a finished airport anymore. We're not going to see all the cool FedEx trucks sitting out front and all that stuff. It's just bare bones Microsoft Flight Simulator with nothing on it. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see this up here, but I have my MSI burner, so it tells us our actual statistics live. Right now, we're running at 59 frames per second. I leave everything at 60 frames per second for streaming purposes because it's not going to help anything if it's above 60 frames per second. So my GPU is set to lock everything down at 60 frames per second, and all of that saves. So right now, we're using 50% of our GPU with our graphics here. Let's look at that so we know what the deal is here. Actually, what I did is I did the NVIDIA app presets, which pretty much keeps some of it's high, some of it's ultra. So this is what NVIDIA recommended for my settings for my 4080 graphics card. All right. So it's pretty much ultra, basically, with a few of the options turned on to high. All right, so here we go. Let's do this first flight. Oh, but it's a shame that it comes to this, Shadow, but I'm going to get it right today. We're going to spend the whole day not so much trying to take flights. We're going to do this first flight. It's about 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes to Miami, and then we're going to come back and start loading mods in one by one and see how the GPU reacts to the mod. All right. So look, no issues already. Like it just perfectly loaded in. There was no stuttering. There was no issues. Like it didn't flinch a little bit or anything. But you see, you notice the difference. It's all generic. It's not like yesterday. It's not like yesterday. It's gonna, it's a bare bones generic buildings, not the actual airport. So, anyways, but we're looking at performance. All right, we're not looking for realism yet. We're looking at performance. So let's keep that in mind. All right, so I pulled the chocks out. That's all ready to go. Let's get inside the plane. I did my settings this morning. Look, I even have my co-pilot right today. We have the right uniforms on, so we don't look ridiculous. We're dressed the right way for commercial airline pilots. So this skin, I'll take you back. This skin for this plane actually goes back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 10. This is the original skin that you got way back then for the Airbus that they had loaded onto that one. So this is a nostalgic piece right here for flight simmers. World travel. I just wanted to share that because it brought back so many memories this morning. Anyways. All right, so here we go. We're in our cockpit here. Let's get actually, we're going to stay away from this. We're going to stay away from that. We're going to do everything old school. We're going to do it genuine today. So we need air traffic control. You have, we want ground services. Ground services. Okay, I got to turn it on first. We got to turn it on. We got to get batteries. So see, it says here, the electrical system must be turned on in order to use the radio and speak to air traffic control. So we got to give her power. So here we go. Here's power. There we go. And now I'm going to ask for ground services. And we're going to request the power supply.
Key West ground, Bet 2-1. Could you please send a ground power unit?
Bet 2-1. A ground power unit is on the road.
So there we go. Our ground power unit is now. See, now this is weird, but okay. So basically, it shows that there's one connected, but we're using the in-game one. We're actually going to use the one that comes standard with the game. So there we go. He's hooking up now. So we're hooked up. So we can come in here and we can turn that on. So now we won't lose we won't lose battery. All right, we're not going to worry about fuel. Let's do passenger boarding. Let's get the passengers on board.
Could you please get the passengers on board?
Now there's no oh, yep, there they go. It is working. Look at that. That's really how it is in Key West, though. You get shuttled out by a bus unless you're parked near the building. It's having a hard time. But anyways, okay, so we got that. They're boarding. All right, so first things first is we're going to do... the only thing that is installed is the Navigraph charts, because that just makes our life easy. So we don't want to get into programming the flight computer and all that today. There we go. You can see we're here in Key West. Now you'll notice that the parking setup is not the same as it was okay, so now it's actually calculating. So I wonder if Miami's the same thing, because Miami still had the... Let's see. I want to test this theory, so let's go over to Miami. That's Homestead. That's Opelika. There's Miami right here. No, see, it still has the real Miami information in here. Weird. But this won't line up with the game. Like, it basically has 1 over here and then 100 and something over here. So they're not actually, the gates aren't named like J3 and stuff like that. But anyways, that's besides the point. Let's get back to it. So we're going to do this all brand new. We're going to select KEYW. I'm going to make this window bigger so you guys can see everything. All right, KEYW. Where's it at? KEYW, my bad. We're going to add that to the route. And then we're going to... we're going to add KMIA to the route. There we go. It's runway 9. We're going to do the Buffett 1 departure. Down here. So you'll see that there's Buffett 1 Guffs, Buffett, that's Buffett 1, Buffett Guffs, Buffett. If you click on any of these, they're going to take you way out here. You don't want to do those Buffett departures. You want to just do Buffett 1, the first one. And then we're going to add that to the route. Okay, now the 8 left. They're gonna I believe, oh, so 9 is available this morning. All right, we'll add that to the route. I like ILS better than radio navigation, so that's why we're gonna do that. We're gonna pick our arrival. All right, so it gives you every arrival available, but we just need to sync up to our Buffett arrival. So you notice there's a discontinuity there, but we're just gonna click on Sandbar 3. I call it Sandbar 3, but it's not that, but that's what I call it. All right. All right, so it added Sandbar, and it gave us a solid line up to leg. And now we're going to add our approach, which would be ILS runway 9 leg. There we go. And we're going to add that to the route. And there it goes. Nice and perfect. Nice and easy peasy. No problems. All right, so we're going to export it. Load as active flight plan. And look at that. No issues. Everything worked perfectly. We're just going to close that now. We're going to switch this to plan. And there we go. We see that it's in there. We're going to click flight plan here. And then we're going to cycle through to make sure there's no discontinuities in the flight plan. And it's perfect. So that's good to go. We don't have to worry about anything. I noticed this plane too, like it gives you all of your stuff turned up right away, so you don't have to go through that whole mission. So I like that. Let's minimize this. Actually, let's stop the passenger boarding.
Key West ground, bet 2-1. I am done with the boarding.
All right, and let's request IFR. And see, look, it works today. We're actually able to request the IFR clearance. That's IFR. So if you don't know what IFR stands for, IFR stands for Instrumentation Flight Rules.
Bat 2-1 is cleared to Miami Airport by the BUF-DD-1 departure, runway 9er. Climb via SID maintain 3000 expect flight level tree 90010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 124.7.
I didn't show her. I didn't tell her this morning or anything. She's already gone. So, but no, I didn't show it to her.
Miami, via the BUFTT
She'd probably be mad. She'd be like, "Oh, who's that?"
Via SID maintain 3000 expect flight level tree 90010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 124.7. Squawk 1656. Bet 2-1.
All right, we're gonna set our vertical speed for
Bat
2,000
2-1,
feet per
read
minute.
that correct. Contact ground on 130.875. Good day.
Oh, looks like we got some bad weather and some lightning. Okay, so there's that. We're not gonna we do need to start taxi clearance here soon. What do we got on our checklist here? So let's get her on APU. Actually, I'm gonna go through the process to get her on APU. Okay, all of our fuel pumps are off. So let's get her on APU here. So APU master switch on. Now we gotta wait for available lit. Wait, bleed, APU bleed on. There we go. All right, I hear it spinning up, so it's getting ready. Okay. External power off. Did I miss something? All right, I just want to test performance. I don't want to go through all this, so we're just going to do it this way. We go back to ground services. Request power supply end.
Key West ground, bet 2-1. I am done with power.
All right, so now they're getting the ground power unit out of the way. All right, go back to clearance. It looks like our APU kicked up because now we're on normal systems. Let's request startup clearance.
Key West ground, bet 2-1 at General Aviation Parking. Information echo. Request startup.
Bat 2-1, Key West ground. Startup approved. Altimeter tree 002.
All right, let's get her ready for takeoff. Like, I could go through the whole startup process and the checklist, but I just want to go and test this so we can start loading mods to see what, because I don't like this. I want the airport to look like the real airport, you know?
Key West ground, but 2-1 with Echo, ready to taxi, IFR.
Bat 2-1, taxi 2 and hold short runway, Niner, using taxiway Alpha, 11 Alpha Bravo. Contact tower on 118.2 when ready.
All right.
Taxiing, hold short runway 9er via taxiway Alpha 11 Alpha Bravo, but 2-1.
All that stuff doesn't need to be on. I'm gonna hit that. There we go. Okay. That doesn't need to be on after everything started. Like the engine start mode. Like I noticed they didn't turn all that stuff off automatically, so I turned it off. All right. Okay, I think we're ready to go here. I'm not even gonna use the pushback. We got our clearance anyways, so I'm gonna close this. Everything seems to be working correctly. I'm gonna put my armrest up, and then I'm going to turn our brake off and head right. We should be able to clear all that. Want my regular view, please. So yeah, I'm going to say at this point, after what I learned last night and what I learned this morning, 2024 is the superior product at this point. Like, I'm pretty sure there's people out there that will argue the point with me and, you know, be like, I don't know about that, but I'm going to say that it is. I just need to get everything fine-tuned so it's working correctly. That is the parking brake. Yeah, there we go. Throttle. Yeah, okay. How does everything sound, Shadow? Does it sound good? Like, we're doing headphone simulation, so, and it's working for this plane, so. Am I too loud? Am I talking too loud? I'm going to turn myself down to 90. Look, see, there's a fuel box. We couldn't find those. We couldn't see that yesterday. I think when we add the custom airports, it gets rid of those. I'm gonna see if our reverse thrusters slow us down. Yeah, it's slowing us down. I like what they've done for this, though. They've set them to where you have to hit certain buttons to make them go in reverse, and then when you let go, they retract by themselves. See that? So I didn't like that at first because I couldn't figure out why I couldn't go into reverse, but I looked that up this morning too and figured it all out. So let's see if the auto co-pilot works for radio, handling the radio, because it quit working yesterday, so.
Key West Tower, but
There you
2-1
go,
at
look
runway
at that.
9 are ready for departure. IFR to Miami.
Bat 2-1, altimeter tree, 00 tree. Cleared for takeoff, runway 9er.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 9er, bat 2-1.
So for this runway and this big of a plane, we're going to need every last bit we can get, so. We are ready for takeoff. Oh wait, I didn't set this. Hold on. Why did we? I thought we set this. What happened? All right, they said 3,000. This needs to be up to 320. All right, no, let's go 330. 330. There we go. And then we're gonna do 2,000 feet per minute. There we go. Okay, that's good to go. All right. And it's been raining since, like, we were here yesterday and it was thunder and lightning, and it's still thunder and lightning today. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear, like, the low rumble of the thunder in the background. Hold on, I gotta pause this because I'm not getting all of my messages here, so let me see. Why are we not getting all of our messages? Oh, okay, I see here. Want live chat. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, Swayze. I didn't even see you. I guess so. Yeah, I could do just fine without all that. Here we go. All right, I need to not move forward anymore because we need every last inch of this runway right now. So I'm gonna stop it right there. Yeah. You like her, huh? No, didn't crash. All right, here we go. Quiet, you. Woo, we got to 140 quick. There we go. We can go. That's liftoff. There. Flaps. Come on, give me flaps, please. There we go. All right, let's see. Here's the ultimate test. Autopilot. And it kicked. You saw when I hit it, the plane started kicking left. So, yep, autopilot's working. So we're good today.
Bat 2-1, contact Miami Center on 124.7. Good day.
Going to 124.7, bet 2-1. Miami Center, bet 2-1 is at 600 climbing 3,000.
All right, we're going to take more than 1,000 feet.
Miami Center, altimeter tree 002, radar contact.
We're going to do 3,000 feet per minute.
Bat 2-1, expect flight level tree 90. Keep speed not above 250 knots.
Expect flight level tree 90. Keep speed not above 250 knots. Bet 2-1.
Thank you. She's doing her job today. Yesterday she wasn't doing her job. 390, roger that.
Climb and maintain flight level 390 at 21.
So you see that all reflects here. It shows we're going 390. Oh, we're not in auto throttle though, so let's get into auto throttle here. There we go. Now we'll stay at the sign speed of 330 knots. See, we got the weather there. We'll get through that. We're climbing at 3,000 or 2625. So it's actually adjusting. This Airbus will not let you crash it. Like, it will try as hard as possible. Like, it'll take over. The systems, like if you get below certain altitudes or your engine power goes too slow, the airplane systems will take over and make sure the plane doesn't crash. So we're doing our first, we have all of the mods unloaded. Overspeed. Why are we overspeeding? We lost autopilot. Flight director on, autopilot on.
Cleared SNEBR tree arrival. Descend and maintain 4,000 expect ILS runway 9er approach via leg transition.
Why did we look? We lost autopilot again.
Cleared SNDBR tree
there
arrival.
Goes that.
Descend and maintain 4,000
there goes that
ILS
idea.
Runway 9er approach via leg transition at 21.
We just lost our autopilot and our auto throttle. Everything just kicked off and it doesn't look like it's grabbing again. Oh, we better kick it up. Okay, get out of here, you. All right, I gotta tilt her down because we're in trouble now. We lost everything. We've lost autopilot, auto flight AP off. Okay, let's turn AP on. So what happened?
Bat 2-1, please expedite your descent 4,000.
We're still on the climb. All right. I had a perfect flight this morning. No issues. I had a perfect flight, and now we're... Look, you see it keeps, that's the auto throttle range. Let's keep auto throttle, please. Yeah, that's right. That's what we got to do because it's just...
2-1, please expedite your descent 4,000.
Yeah, I would love to do that, but my airplane systems aren't cooperating.
Maintain flight level 190.
Climb and maintain flight level 190 at 21.
All right, we got to get back on track here. Let me, okay. But look, even that's not working. Like, even my heading bug isn't working. Nothing's working today. Throttle's not working. Nothing's working. Flight system's not working. Flight director. Like, everything is refusing. Look, it says that it's off. Now it says it's on. All right, I'm gonna take control of this and get us back on course here. They want us at 19,000, they said. Okay, we're at 14,000. Totally snafu. I had a perfect flight this morning, and now look, like I'm thinking, oh, okay, it was because I unloaded all the mods. Has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. I think it's like they're trying to make the stream interesting. They knew I wasn't streaming this morning, so they were like, oh, let's give them a real nice flight, a nice relaxing flight. And now I started streaming to test everything. And it's like, oh, shut down the autopilot, shut down the auto throttle, shut down everything, make them fly the plane. No, we're working for world travel today. World travel. We still got a auto throttle limited. Yep, I got that much. Okay, let's turn off that master warning. Let's clear the system. Auto flight, autopilot. Let's see what happens when we turn it on. Oh, what is it doing? All right, it looks like she's taking us back to, okay, I see it's the throttle bug. Okay, let's turn that off. All right, so now we've got this working. This decided to start working. So let's turn this off. 19,000 feet is what they wanted. Oh. I mean, really, it's a good thing I know how to do it, you know, like, I was like, yeah, we're going to stream this today and figure out all of our mods and everything. Has nothing to do with it. Oh my goodness. How frustrating. All right, let's see if communication. All right, well, she's not following, that's not working either. So nothing's working. Nothing's working the way it should. All right, let's ask the AI. Are there any known bugs with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 Autopilot and the A320?
Sure thing. So, yeah, there are actually a couple of known quirks with the A320 autopilot in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 that folks have reported. One of the more common bugs is that the autopilot can occasionally disconnect by itself about 30 minutes into a flight, and then it doesn't let you reconnect it again. So that's one to watch out for. Another issue is that sometimes on final approach, especially during an ILS landing, the autopilot can turn off unexpectedly, causing the aircraft to kind of jerk upward and the throttles to jump up to full power. It's a known thing right now on certain approaches, and the community has spotted it, so you're not alone there. Basically, these are bugs that have popped up in the 2024 version, and the community is talking about them. Hopefully the devs will patch them soon, but if you've run into that, just know it's something on that radar. Anything else you're curious about?
Is there a plane that we know works fully 100%?
Oh, I'm sorry. Something's going wrong on my end. Let's try talking a little later.
Screw you. So again, we're in the same situation as yesterday. Everything just crapped out. You think all flights should be raves? You want me to turn on my trance music? Is that what it is? I want to figure out what's wrong and why this happened. I had a perfect flight this morning. You know what we're going to do? We're going to quit and we're going to go try another plane because this isn't accomplishing. Like, I know I can fly to the airport and get us there. I want it to work correctly. That's where I'm at. Oops. All right, so let's go back to the main menu and let's end flight. Main menu. All right, let's go here. We're gonna try. Let's see what other planes. All right, let's do this. You know, it seems like this was an issue when the game first released about the autopilot disconnecting. They still haven't fixed it. Are they going to be able to fix it?
Yeah, so it looks like the A320 autopilot issue in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is definitely a known bug that a lot of simmers have reported. Basically, there's an issue where the autopilot toggle doesn't work properly, and you can't always disengage it once it's on. It's a pretty consistent glitch that others have run into, and there's a lot of chatter about it in the community. Right now, folks are just using workarounds like using the mouse to manually switch off the autopilot rather than relying on a keybind. As for a full fix, there isn't an official patch yet from Atobo, but everyone's hoping they'll address it in an upcoming update.
So stupid, man. So stupid. Here we go. Here we go. Let's try this. Let's try something a little simpler. No, I don't want to do that. Let's see if the autopilot works on this thing. Oh, Swayze, you're killing me. The blow up autopilot. All right, so let's try this Dahmer TBM and see what we get out of it. Remove the cover. Move that. Move the cow. No, don't open the engine, cow. Look at that engine in there. Woo! Close it. Move the chocks. I think that's it. Oh, the pivot cover, the pilot cover. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to have to duck down to do this one. All right. I had this thing. Yep, it's still set up from the last time. Okay. Good to know. Here we go. Little planes. Little planes. We're going to just start this thing up and get it ready to go here without all the drama. There we go. Want... Okay, we need this, the overhead panel. 3, 2, 1, 4, 6, 6. Okay. Okay, the first things first, we're going to need electric power. Autopilot trim on. We're going to need all that on. Auxiliary on. 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 Auto. Airframe.
TOS system test. Okay.
All right, let's see if Navigraph works with this bad boy. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do a different flight plan. Unload. We're going to do a little flight seeing tour. We're going to fly up the Florida Keys here. And to Key Biscayne. No, we don't want VP. We want old. Let's check this out. We're going to go to Miami. MIA. Look at that. That actually worked perfect, didn't it? All right, good. Let's load that. See if it'll load into the flight plan. Is this? Look, it's not even giving me the option to load it into the system. Which means I think I have to do it manually. Right? Did it not take it? All right, heading. Nope, don't care about heading. Don't care about course. Care about altitude. Sure, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Loving in Miami. Absolutely. So we can't use that software, but we could still use it for we can still see you have to actually use the plane to do this flight planning. So let's open this up. Minimize it, hide that. Zoom out. So we're going to tally. All right. This is actually really easy to use. It's not that difficult. All right, so it added tally. How come I don't see it though? All right, let's add another. We want tally. Wait, which tally did we? Wait. Back. TALEE, right? Okay, 096. Okay, that's right. Right, we could confirm it by looking at it. Click on it. 081. Yeah, that's right. That's okay. Yep, that's good. All right. And then we want Goosell. Don't see them being added though, but we're gonna do the whole thing. So it's gonna be B P L B Y. No, wait, that's VPLYY. PLYY. Then it's MNate. All right, let's hit done and see if it's gonna add it. See, it doesn't seem to me that it added it. Oh yeah, it's adding it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's adding it in there. All right, so you see now it shows the ones that we've got, so we just need to add a couple more. We've got emanate to frog. No, I want to add a waypoint manually, please. Ay, 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 okay. How come I can't just add a waypoint anymore? All right, am I boring y'all to death, huh? Bored yet? Are you guys bored to death yet? All right. Goosell enter. All right, so it's going in. All right, we need to wait, go down. Add an en route waypoint. That's Goosell B P L Y Y. There we go. Want to add emanate. Then we want to add frog. Go. We're gonna add O L then VP014. So VP014. All right, it didn't add VP014. Okay, let's see if we could do something else then. Let's open this up a little bit. So instead of VP014, which we need to delete because it's not remove VP014, we'll put in leg. There we go. And now we'll add grit. No. Delete that. Why won't you add grit to a flight plan? All right, it doesn't matter. All right, let's just go it's out of the way here. All right, so we got old, then we need leg. Wait, what? No. Oh, okay, I see what happened. It gave us the okay, so we're not going to do it anyways. We're just going to backspace that. And we're going to add leg. There we go. So it added leg. And then we're going to add grit manually. Okay, and now we're gonna add Miami to as the airport we're traveling to. We're gonna select runway 9. And there we go. That should be good. We should be good to go. I'm going to hit done. There we go. So now our flight plan is all entered in here. Now we could do a lot with this. It's been a while since I used this, so give me a minute to figure it out here. That's our radio system to do our radio stuff. TFD. I want to go here, but I want to go home. We're not worried about procedures, but let's turn our weather on. So now we've got course up. We've got our heading up. Okay, that's what we want. We can sign in. Oh, wow, this is an improvement. This didn't, back in the day, this wasn't a thing. So now this, we can actually add our Navigraph to this. But it's saying that there's no available. Let's see if we click on departure, arrival, approach. So why even let us add it to it? Okay, well, I guess it did somehow. We just need to, let's go back. Aircraft systems. I mean, this is a pretty fancy private plane, like, with all of the stuff that it has. It's... All right, let's go home. Flight plan. Navigation. So it lets you actually do... Okay. All right, we're not worried about that. That's like if we were setting it, but we did our own flight plan, so that doesn't matter. Let's see here. Let's go back to flight plan options. Nope, we don't want to delete it. Want to go home and map. So it gives us that map, but we want this screen to go back to no, now it switches over to that. There we go. Okay, I see what I need to do. Okay, all right. So go home. We want this to be map. There we go. And the second screen, you see how it changes it over? We're going to do weight and fuel for the second. No, wait, go back. So, second screen. Go home. Weather. So that gives us our weather radar on the second screen. This will just give us our course, but this keeps us on a heading up. So anyways, that's all good. We're good to go. Okay, let's close that out. Back to our regular view. Navigation on. Approach mode off. Heading mode off. We don't need to turn the autopilot on yet. We're going to want that on, but not right now. We're going to set our vertical speed for 1,000 feet per minute. And our flight control mode on. All right. Communication. Let's get out of here. Tune to Key West clearance.
Key West ground, but 2-1 with Echo. Request taxi to the active, north departure.
Bat 2-1, taxi to and hold short runway 9er using taxiway Alpha 11 Alpha Bravo. Contact tower on 118.2 when ready.
Taxiing, hold short runway 9er via taxiway Alpha 11 Alpha Bravo, but 2-1.
All right, let's get this out of the way. I'm going to say tune tower. Let's see if the autopilot works in this thing without disconnecting. She's fast too. She's not like a Cessna or anything. She'll go fast. Like a Cessna, you're doing like 120.
There's 1 Papa Romeo. Exit runway when able.
So that's that guy, 1 Papa Romeo. That's a real life flight too. That's a real life small plane landing at Key West right now in real life.
Cirrus 1 Papa Romeo. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Now this is a commercial plane coming in here. It's AAY. This is a big boy.
121.9er for Cirrus 1 Papa Romeo.
All right, we're going a little too fast. Allegiant Airlines, yep. Drive the plane. Pay attention to the plane where you're going. See that though, Shadow? I knew how to do this plane without following any... I knew how to get this thing
Allegiant
going.
1411. Turn next taxiway.
I cut my teeth on this plane in 2024. Slow it down. We're going too fast.
Allegiant 1411. Contact ground on 121.9er. .9er for Allegiant 1411.
Like there was no fancy auto start options for this thing. I had to actually do it all myself. See, there's no little fancy tablet to get it all started up for you. You actually have to do it on your own.
Key West Tower, bet 2-1 at runway 9 are ready for departure. Departure to the north.
Bat 2-1, altimeter tree 00, 4 north departure approved. Cleared for takeoff, runway 9er.
All right, this is what's important. All right, so
Cleared for takeoff, runway 9er, bet 2-1.
we need to make sure that's on so our autopilot works. All right, so our autopilot will work now. It should. Like, even if this switch isn't on, even if you turn it on here, it won't turn on. So, okay, that's on. Everything's good to go. I think everything's good to go. Okay, we're good to go. Let's do it. Wait, let's see what this warning we're getting here is. There's a warning on that screen there. Why is it not? Park brake pressure off. Okay, there we go. There, see, now the warning cleared. That's pretty detailed, isn't it? Like, it's detailed, man. All right, let's do it. Let's go. Let's get out of here. We got clearance. We don't need flaps for this little old plane. Like, you can just go. Hear that turbo kick in? That's all you need for that bad boy right there. And gear up. Flaps are already good. All right. I'm going to keep it in hand for a minute here. All right, let's see if the autopilot works.
My airspace. Frequency change approved.
Key West Tower, bet 2-1, frequency change. Navy Key approach, bet 2-1 is type Daher TBM 9, 2 miles southeast of Kilo Yankee 0 Whiskey 4, 900. Request flight following.
All right, autopilot.
Bat 2-1, Navy Key approach. Squawk 721 tree.
Squawk 721 tree, bet 2-1.
Woo, what's going on? What's going on?
Bat 2-1, radar contact 2 miles southwest of Boca Chica, 1600. Altimeter tree.
All right, I'm going to let her do her
004.
thing. We do need to come
Roger,
off the throttle a
bet
bit,
2-1.
though. What are we doing? Why are we getting crazy with it? Heading select off. Approach mode. Navigation mode. That's what we want. Why are we going out here in the middle of nowhere? All right, what is our altitude set for? Let's do 800. Let's do 500 feet. So again, yeah, the autopilot, the autopilot, it's working, like it's holding the plane steady. All right, let's do heading select mode. You get out of here. I need to be able to see what I'm doing. There we go. That's the quicker way. All right. So again, the same thing, like the autopilot is working, but it's not navigating on its own. Here, let me, right, we hit all the right buttons. We did everything the right way. The autopilot trim is on. This is in pilot's oxygen. Well, yeah, I guess so. But we're not that high up. All right, we need to come in on our... Nope, that's the wrong one. We need to go to the second screen. Zoom in here. Wait, that's zoom out. That's zoom in. Okay, here we go. And we're back on course again. But man, like... Does the autopilot not work on any plane in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I get what you're asking. So just to clear that up, the autopilot itself does generally work on most of the planes just fine. You're in the TBM, and from what I can see, you've got the autopilot panel right there working normally. So yeah, that A320 issue is a bit aircraft specific. It's not like a universal autopilot bug across the whole sim. Most other aircraft, like the one you're in, should be totally fine. Let me know if you have any more questions.
Okay, well, I'm not following my plotted course automatically. I have to use the heading bug to keep the plane on its course, but auto navigation is not working.
Yeah, I got you there. So it looks like you're actually in the TBM cockpit right now, and I can see from the screenshot that your heading mode is definitely active. So if the plane isn't following the flight plan on its own and you're having to use the heading bug, that means nav mode might not be armed or engaged as it should be. So a quick tip, make sure that you've actually got your flight plan inserted in the Garmin, and then you want to hit the nav button on the autopilot panel. Once it captures that GPS signal, the plane should follow the route automatically. Let me know if that helps.
Okay, I hit the FLC button on the panel, which I believe means flight control. Maybe I'm wrong, but I turned it on and it automatically turned itself off.
Yeah, I see exactly what's happening. So on that FLC mode, you're right, it does stand for flight level change mode. And if it's turning itself off, it might be because your indicated airspeed or your throttle setting is a little off from what it's expecting. Basically, the TBM is a little picky sometimes about the airspeed it wants in FLC mode. So what I'd say is just double check your throttle setting and your target airspeed. If it looks good, try re-engaging FLC mode after you've set the correct speed. That usually does the trick. Let me know if that helps.
So let's make sure I understand correctly. Flight director is what controls the auto navigation.
Exactly, you're spot on. The flight director is really the brain of your autopilot system. So basically when that's turned on, it gives you that guidance to follow the route and actually helps the autopilot steer. So right now in the screenshot, I can see that you've got the flight director turned on, which is great. That's going to help you actually get that auto nav working properly. So as long as that is on and you've got your navigation source set to GPS, you should be all set and it should follow that flight plan automatically now. Let me know how it goes.
Okay, explain to me what navigation mode is.
Yeah, absolutely. So navigation mode, sometimes called nav mode, is basically what tells your plane to follow the flight plan on its own. So think of it like this. You've got your route programmed into the Garmin there. And once you hit nav mode, the autopilot will actually turn the aircraft according to that flight plan and fly those waypoints for you. And looking at your panel right now, I can see you've got flight director on, you've got your autopilot on, and your nav mode should be engaged as well. That just means the plane is going to follow your GPS flight plan and keep you on track without you having to manually adjust the heading. Pretty neat stuff. Anything else you're curious about?
All right, so that's us right now. So we should be heading to that target with our autopilot on. But it doesn't seem like we are. So let's see my heading bug. Why can't we get that without? So this is, you see this blue line, I'm going to manually tell the plane to go here because that's where we really should be going. So when I kick this on, the plane should start turning. And there we go. The plane's turning. So the autopilot isn't working in this thing either. Autopilot refuses to work on all of the plane systems. Okay, well, the autopilot is not following the course. I'm having to manually change the course with the heading bug.
Yeah, I see what's going on here. So looking at that panel right now, it seems like your nav mode might not be fully locked in just yet. You might just need to double check that you've got the right source selected. So yeah, just make sure that you have your GPS as the active navigation source and then rearm nav mode on the autopilot panel. Once that's done, the plane should stop relying on the heading bug and actually pick up the flight plan on its own. Give that a try and see if it helps.
So you're saying I just need to get close to my track line in order to have the autopilot kick in. But the plane seems to be acting erratically right now and turning and going in different directions. Maybe it's the weather.
Yeah, you're definitely on the right track there. So absolutely, sometimes the plane does need to be pretty close to the magenta line on your screen to actually capture that flight plan track easily. But yeah, I'm also seeing that weather out there. You're kind of in some clouds and it looks like you've got a bit of turbulence rolling through. That can definitely make it feel like the plane is turning a little bit erratically as it tries to find its route. So just be patient with it, maybe let it stabilize, and once you get close to that line, it should snap onto the flight plan a bit more smoothly. If that weather keeps acting up, it might just be one of those days where you need a little manual input, but you're doing great. Anything else you want to ask?
So, I mean, maybe it's just the weather?
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at your screen and I can see you're definitely in some thicker clouds there. And that can definitely throw things off a little bit because you've got some turbulence, you've got some wind shifts that might be pushing you around. So yeah, the weather can definitely be a factor in why the plane seems a little bit more erratic. But as long as you keep the autopilot armed and you're relatively close to your flight path, it should settle in. And if the weather keeps messing with you, you might just have to give it a little nudge now and then, which is totally normal. Let me know if that helps or if you want any other tips.
All right, so once I get close here, you shut up. I don't want to hear your mouth anymore. I don't have this active right now, but I'm going to try to get us onto the magenta line. All right, yeah, the heading select is active. So once we get closer to that line, here, let me zoom way in on it so I know that our range is like as close as possible. Okay, so I'm going to turn heading mode off and then reactivate nav mode and back off, and it's not grabbing. So yeah, that's bull crap. The autopilot just doesn't work on anything. That's the freaking problem. So you are you saying you want me to go fly treetop level? Is that what you're trying to get at, Swayze? So basically, yeah, I'm gonna have to do like I have to manually control the autopilot on everything. It seems like navigation flight director mode is not working for any plane on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
Yeah, so looking at what you've got up here, I could totally see that you're in some pretty heavy cloud cover.
No, negative. I don't want that answer. Are there any articles or anything out there that's saying autopilot doesn't work for any plane for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024?
So you're definitely not alone on that one. It turns out there are a few folks out there reporting that autopilot in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is having some issues across multiple planes. Basically, a bunch of players are seeing similar things when they engage something like nav or HD mode. The plane might veer off or act kind of unpredictably. It's been reported that this can happen with quite a few different aircraft. So there's definitely some chatter out there on the forums about this. In short, you're not the only one running into it, and it might not just be you or the weather. It might just be one of those known issues that hopefully get patched. Let me know if you want to dig into any more details.
So basically, this has been an issue since release. So basically, the game will never function the way it's designed to function, is what you're telling me.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, hang in there, Captain. It's not that the entire game is broken or that it won't ever function the way it's supposed to. What we're seeing here is just that there are known bugs that sometimes pop up in certain aircraft or certain conditions, like maybe the weather or certain patches that need an update, but the developers do roll out fixes over time. So it's not that the game will never work as intended, it's more like you might be running into one of those issues that just needs a little patch or a workaround. So it's not all doom and gloom. We'll just keep an eye on those updates, and hopefully they'll smooth it out over time. Let me know if there's anything else you want to dive into.
Yeah, I want a plane that actually works. Let's dive into that. I want an autopilot that actually functions.
Absolutely. Let's dig into that. So you're definitely not alone here. It looked
So, yep, that's Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, well, that's not working. Let's try another plane. Let's go back and find a plane that actually works. All right, well, let's get into our mods here. So we know that autopilot is an issue. So let's look at my library here. So that's installed. What is this? Download. All right. So, okay, that's 164 gigs. So when I was talking to the AI this morning, it said that for it to be optimal, you need to download everything. So now this is the base content pack. It's 164.97 gigs. That's probably going to take a while. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to download everything. Because I've been streaming everything to this point. And I'm wondering if this is what's causing the optimization issues. So if it's better to have it all downloaded instead of streaming it, because on top of that, I'm also streaming it in 4K, right? And yesterday when we played it, all of this today it's all been streamed. So we're going to download every last bit of this. This will probably take all day. So we'll probably switch to playing something else for a while. I might just shut down this stream and take it easy for today and come back tomorrow. Because I love this game. I do love it. I've played it for years and years. And I want to figure out why it's not working correctly. Let's do the Red Bull Air Races. Spotlight event. Let's just download everything. We're going to do the whole 9 yards. So then once we download everything and we're not streaming it anymore, then we can't say that it's an optimization issue because we're streaming everything and it's not actually being controlled by my computer. So we'll know after that. So we're going to do every last update, everything's going to be actually downloaded onto the system now. And then if we have bugs inside of that, we'll start. Okay, Swayze, take it easy, man. If that doesn't work after that, then what we'll do is we'll start removing mods and see if it cleans it up. Because I guess I just got lucky this morning when I played earlier this morning and everything worked perfectly fine. Like, it was nice. It was a good flight, nice landing, graphics beautiful, everything beautiful. So, and then of course, as soon as I go to stream it and see if it happens, of course, that doesn't work. 19 gigs, 94 gigs, 91 gigs. Like, this is a lot of info, man. A lot of info. But the AI told me this morning that it's better that it's downloaded and not streamed. So, but who knows? The AI says all sorts of crazy things. Is this even working? Is it verified? It doesn't say permanently incompatible. So they'll say unverified. So it says it doesn't say unverified. So it should be fine. Let's download it. The communist plot, is that what it is? Okay. They're trying to see, these are all 2020 planes, 2020, 2020. But if it's unverified, like, let's find one that says unverified. So I disabled all of this morning. Permanently incompatible, unverified, See, there's all sorts here. Currently incompatible, permanently incompatible, unverified. So that stuff we're not going to do at all. We're not going to mess with any of the unverified or the currently incompatible stuff. See, there's a whole bunch of unverified. And this is all of my stuff from 2024. All right, so we got a lot to go through here. All right, we got a lot to go through and a lot to download. All right, so here we go. Let's get back to it here. Where's the list? That's no good. Can we get rid of this thing? Disable. Ah, you see there, it wasn't even disabled. So that could have been, it was actually streaming an incompatible and unverified. So that could be causing issues. All right. So, all right, we need to disable everything that says unverified and permanently incompatible or currently incompatible. So this is good. Let's, oh, did I lose my mouse? Yeah, I did. Back off, on. So there we go. Okay, so this we're gonna download because it's good. We're gonna, oh yeah, enhanced photogrammetry. Yes, we want that, and it's streamed. We don't want it streamed. We want it downloaded. F-14 ABD Tomcats. Yes, I love those planes. We're gonna download those. I got plenty of space now because we deleted 2020, so I can actually download all this stuff and have it work. So there's our F-22 Raptor, our F-16. I don't ever use this thing, so I'm not really like, let's see, what's the down arrow? Okay. Up, unverified. Okay, yep, no, we don't want this. It's the bottom part is unverified. So let's more options, cancel, continue, more options. And I don't fly that plane anyway, so why am I gonna have I want to not use this, please. Can I turn it off? All right, well, we might have to let it download and then okay. That's what we'll do. We'll let it, because I guess I already turned it on for download. How about this one? Unverified. So we need to come back once these get downloaded. We need to come back and remove these because they're unverified files. Got it. Launching ASAP. The Jacksonville water fix. Let's see here. It doesn't have any down options, so it's compatible. So let's download that one. All right, this Junkers unverified, so we have to come back. So I think I must have downloaded the whole pack. So I need to go back and I'm gonna uninstall all of these Microsoft 2020 games or planes. All right, so we got 7 items here. Let's see what this is. Terra Builder, model library, play standalone module. All of that is good. So what we'll do is we'll click that back up and we'll go to more. We'll click on it, click more options and download. Okay, this Transall is from 2020. It's streamed. It doesn't say unverified. There's no drop down. I don't really fly it, so you know what? There's way better planes. Like they actually got the A800 or whatever. So like I'm not concerned about that at all. So we'll just we'll actually disable this. disable so it won't stream it. There we go. So that should be knocked out. Okay. The common UK. What is this? So does it have more info? Yeah, let's open the marketplace page and see what this is. So this says UK Scenery Common Library. This is a library of 3D models needed for all the UK 2000 Scenery Airport products. It does not add anything directly to your flight sim. You may also use this library for your own private scenery projects or also freeware projects if you want to use this library. So I'm going to say, this is what it does. It adds this, I'm guessing it adds the static stuff to your UK, your United Kingdom airports. And I don't really fly in the United Kingdom, so I'm going to say we don't need this and let's disable it. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that important, so... did it? Okay, there it goes. Wait, why does it still say streamed? Disable. There we go. Okay. So next, USA Modern Cities. Let's click on that, see more options. Let's open the market page and see the description. Okay, so what this does, a redesign of city area according to geographical position of objects. We bring out the best MSFS in-build photogrammetry around the city area by fixing textures, structures, bridges, shores, and added back many missing buildings and features. The main objective of this scenery is to show MSFS USA photogrammetry at its best, with additional of feature buildings to further enhance the simulation experience. This volume includes 4 major cities in United States: Boston, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and Miami. Well, now, I actually own a custom Miami, so I'm wondering. Let's see more details on this. And this is actually okay, compatible with both. Okay, let's see more details. That's not really details. That's just ratings. It's got a 4.6 realism, visual quality 4.5, technical quality 4.5. It could be on Xbox or PC. The installation size is 5.25 gigs. Let's take a look at some of this. So you can actually, okay, so it's Miami, Los Angeles, Boston, and Philadelphia. All right, let's go back. We're going to download it. But, okay, this is VRF objects for Miami, Key West, and Fort Lauderdale. This is the core library. All right, let's go ahead and download this. And then we're going to look at the details of Modern Cities Volume 2. All right, so USA Modern Cities Volume 2, a pre-redesign. Okay, we know what it is, basically. It's Volume 2, but what cities does it handle? It looks like Hawaii. Oh, there it is. Atlanta, San Francisco, Honolulu, and Charlotte. Okay, I'll say we'll do that one too. Download that. No, download. There we go. All right, Vessel Core Library. This one's pretty cool. I got this one because of my previous career. Let's look at this real quick. What does more info tell us? Okay. Let's go to open the marketplace page. So basically it adds detailed ships to the game, which I had to have it. Like, yeah, it gives you all of these different ships in game. Like that's the whole library. And when you actually get close and down up on them, like they're pretty cool and they're detailed. So if you're flying a small plane close to the water, it's pretty cool to see that, like with lights and everything. So yeah, I like that. Let's add that. We're gonna download it. All right, VFR objects Miami. Let's oh wait, why is it I don't get more options? All right, but I know basically what so VFR stands for Visual Flight Rules. All right, so when you're in your small aircraft and you're not using autopilot and all that stuff, and it works with, I mean, it works all the way, but they call it VFR objects. So basically, it adds like helicopters, not birds, but antenna towers, detailed objects like that. For some reason, it won't let us go look at it on the page, but it doesn't say incompatible, and it doesn't say that it's no good, so we're going to download it. All right, what's in community content here? Okay, so this is our Avionics plugin for Navigraph. This is already installed. I installed that permanently already. Okay. Now, let's go back down here. So that's installed. We can close that. It's already installed because I was going to leave that no matter what. All right. So Aero, Fire, and Global, that was for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, which basically it allowed you to do firefighting missions. But in 2024, firefighting missions are automatically part of the game. It's like your career mode. So I have it disabled. The Airbus A380-800, I believe it said, let's enable it real quick. Okay, the Airbus 80A3A, where did you go? Okay, so it must be all the way at the top now. Yeah, it says it doesn't say incompatible or not able or anything, so we're gonna download that. Let's okay, wait, no, we want to click it, download. These are the same plane, but made, well, no, this is the 800 and this is the 1000, but they're made by different people. So I liked this one better. This one was kind of, I don't know about the graphic details and the cockpit details. So, but we're going to leave it downloading for now. What else do we got here? We did the community content. All right. This, we're not going to ever open up. I believe let's enable this real quick to see why I disabled it. What happened? Did I make it freak out? All right, there we go. Oh, what was that? The realistic lighting. Okay, let's go up here and see if we can find it. The realistic lighting. Enhance airport graphics is being downloaded. Realistic. Okay, and it doesn't say that it's incompatible or any of that, and that's really cool for the night flying. I believe that was originally a 2020 thing, so we're going to download that. All right. That we're not doing. This I never really messed with. I'm gonna leave it disabled. Uh, I believe it said these. We're gonna enable it real quick to see what it says, but I believe it said that they were incompatible. So now we got to go all the way back up. Oh no, it's compatible. All right, but it's just liveries. I do like flying that plane once in a while, so we're gonna download it. That we're gonna leave off. This I want. Okay, so we're getting into. Okay, so again, we're just anything that's unverified are permanently incompatible. We're not gonna do. There's another global fire. I think that one's for. We're not gonna do the ships. All right, so here's all of my planes. That one says it's unverified and it's disabled. And that one says it's unverified. So there, I must. Okay, so those they must have made new versions for 2024, and I automatically got them. Like they redid a whole new version, so that's why those are at the top and they're downloading right now. These must have been versions that were only for 2020. But because I bought them on 2020 when they remade the new version for 2024, I automatically got them for free. Okay. So that stays off. Airbus, we're going to enable that and download it. All right, let's just enable all of these and then we'll go back to the top and download them. A320 CEO. Yeah, because I was even streaming the base game, you know? So like, yeah, I maybe like that was why the stream was bottlenecking, you know? So I'm hoping that we're gonna get closer to getting this all working perfectly and look beautiful. All right, that's unverified. We're not doing unverified. We got okay. That citation is what is this? Is this? I'll have to scroll back up and look at this right away. So the citation streamed. It doesn't say that it's not working or incompatible, so we'll download it. Here we might as well do all those Airbuses we just added to. Where are they at? There they are. So we're going to download it. Download it. See that, and that's the whole reason why they did this and made it streamable is for console players. And we're not playing on console, so we want to have full optimization. So we're going to download everything directly to our hard drive. All right, all that's downloading. Not doing those three. This we're not doing either. That we're going to skip. This I want. Let's enable that, unless it says it's permanently disabled. Where did that go? It's got to be up here. Yep, there it is. And it's good. So let's download that. So the next time we play, well, like, okay, so I'll have to stop streaming later on and we'll let all this download. And then depending on how long all that takes, I might get back on this afternoon and we'll start testing that. But if not, I'll get back on tomorrow. Actually, this afternoon, well, I'm going to be downloading all this stuff and I can't turn the game off. So I need to let it finish downloading. All right. All right, let's go back here. Okay, so that we're not doing that. We're not doing that. This I want. This is the airport where the NOAA hurricane hunters fly out of Florida. So I always want that airport because during hurricane season, what I do when we're playing this game is we go hurricane hunting. So I want to have that airport in there. Let's make sure it's not. So I got to go back to the K's once we do this. So I passed the K's. And it's good. So we're going to download that. All right, that we already did. This we're not doing. This is the airport in the Bahamas. It should be good. We're going to download it. Download. It's pretty cool. We should take a look at it. Like it does a lot. Like, see, basically it gives you a finished airport with all the fancy graphics. If not, you get like generic base buildings. It doesn't these downloads actually make it look like the real airport. Now, this I could have done without. Like, this is just adding load for no reason. They actually gave you the insides of the airport and all of this stuff. Dude, it's flight simulator, not walk around the airport simulator. So I could have done without all that, you know? Like, really, honestly. But yeah, you can go into free camera mode and go on the inside of the airport and look at the airport, which I don't care. Like, that to me is just more data that didn't need to be added, you know? But basically, it gives you a fully detailed airport in the end. Anyways, okay, back. All right, that's the water fix, everything that's all going. Okay, what else do we got? Wait, what was that? Something. Okay, these are the planes. I gotta wait. I have to remember we have to go back and remove this because it's all unverified. So we need to take the MS 2020 by Microsoft Mike Johnson and remove all of these unverified planes to make sure everything is at full optimization. Okay, so where are we? We're here. We're We're not doing that. VFR objects. Let's see what this is. So basically, this is Long Beach, actually. This is the port of Long Beach in California. So, like, when you see these cranes without this pack, like, it does show them, but it's all messed up. Like, it doesn't look good. So basically, what they did is they went in and cleaned it up. So right here, what you see is the Queen Mary, but you notice it doesn't look right. It looks weird. It's basically rendering in the Queen Mary using legit satellite images. So it doesn't actually do the Queen Mary. I've gone and checked it, but basically it fixes all of your cranes and cleans up the port and makes everything look pretty. It makes it look good. Like that's what you get normally with photogrammetry. Like, it's all funky and weird. It doesn't really look right, you know? Now here they cleaned this up. Like these tanks and stuff like that, that's all refinished, because when you see this without this pack, it just looks like a blob on the earth. It doesn't look right, you know? They did the same thing here. Like, it's all of this has been cleaned up to make look pretty, because it's so detailed in real life that when they try to project it using satellite imagery, it just looks like you might see the red and white, but it's like at an angle and it's all weird shapes and stuff like that. So basically what they did is they went in and cleaned it all up to make it look nice. But you have to pay extra for that. You have to pay extra for that. All right, wait, we want to enable this. Did we need to download that? Where did it go? So all of this could have been the problem. It could be the problems why we're having issues. So we're gonna download it and see if that fixes it instead of actually streaming it and have it on the system. All right. So all of this is definitely not going in. That's not going in. I don't care about the ships. Were never that great anyways, so I don't care about adding those. Incompatible, unverified, so we're not doing any of that. Static airport. So, well, we might add this back later on. I'm going to skip it for now. Basically, this gave you like better walkways and boarding, whatever they call it, where the people get on the plane. ATR 7. All right, let's see if any of these are unverified. So we're not even going to bother because all of this is unverified. So we're not even going to bother with the one. That's going to get skipped. Which means we might as well just go back and remove that one thing that we added. Permanently incompatible, unverified. Currently incompatible, unverified, unverified. This doesn't say unverified. So this basically, it cleans up your bridges in the Newark, New Jersey area. And the same thing, it does your port fixes. Like you can see here, like the containers look a little bit weird sitting there. They're basically, it's projecting live satellite images in, and it gets a little funky. And you can see the cranes. Like this is the ship that was actually parked by the cranes that day, this blob that you see in the background. So they didn't get rid of that because it was the last image used when they made all this. But basically all of these cranes look like this. They look like blobs. Like that ship is an actual image. It's not a model of a ship. And that's why it looks all like curved and weird. You know, but the game still tries to, even though that's the last image they had, the game still tries to put the ship in. It tries to render the ship in. And there's fixes for that too. Like they give you whole entire, but again, it's something extra that you pay for to make the game better and more realistic. So, hey, where did it go? Okay, so we're gonna enable enable, and then we're gonna go back and we got a bridges near new work, so we got to go back up and fix that. Oh, see, it wasn't there. Okay. And it fixes all the bridges, not only the cranes, but all the bridges in the Newark, New Jersey area. So we're going to download that. Here, let's look at it again so we didn't look at the full thing. Images. So yeah, you see, it gives you all of the bridges detailed. And basically, like you'll get, if you didn't have this pack, you would get the bridge and you would see like the beams and stuff, but it would be distorted and like a flat picture in between. So like you can kind of see that it's the bridge, and it you know that it's a bridge, but it looks kind of more like this where the highway comes down. And this hasn't even been fixed yet. Like you see this building right here, like we know that that's not right. Right? The dirt piles in the background, like that's what it renders in as the game. So the bridges would be the same thing. So basically they went in, cleaned up the mess, and put the clean looking bridges in and added lights and stuff and made them look like the real bridges look in real life. Just one of those little features. So we're going to add that. Did we download it? Yeah, we downloaded it. Okay. We're not doing any of that. We're not doing any of that. We're not doing any of that or that. Unverified. Nope, no unverified. They're all disabled too. We want to make sure they're disabled. Citation longitude enhanced. Let's why is it? Conflicted items. If you enable citation longitude enhanced, the following items will be in conflict with it, thus will be disabled. All right. Well, nope. We'll cancel that. We don't want to do it then. The CRJ, I'm not concerned with. I'm not concerned with that right now. All right. This livery pack, it is unverified. We're not doing it. All right. Daytona Beach Night Enhanced. So basically what that does is it adds all the nightlife and lights to Daytona Beach for you. So, but it doesn't give us an option to go look at it in the store. Let's see, this deluxe upgrade, everything's unverified. So nope, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do that one. It's disabled, right? It should be disabled. Yeah, it's disabled. Okay. Unverified. Yep, we're not going to do that. I'm not worried about using the Embraer. I'm not worried about that. The emergency response pack, basically. So this gives you ambulance liveries for your Beechcraft King Air Textron aviation plane, and it's not verified, so we're not going to do it. Enhanced runway lights. Well, I already got the one for 2024. So we don't have to worry about that. Avionics link, that was for your iPad, so you can have your iPad. Like that was especially cool for console players because it kind of gave them a second monitor for their instrumentation. But we don't need it because we have plenty of monitors and plenty of everything, so we're not going to do that. F-18 liveries incompatible. Fall and spring seasons is unverified. We're not going to do it. All right. Flight sim birds for the Southeast USA. It doesn't say unverified, but that's a pretty cool, neat little thing. So we're going to enable it. I'm just going to keep going through and then we'll go back and make sure they're downloading. So global vehicle traffic. All right, let's click on this. So this was for Microsoft, and you see there, and it doesn't tell you. So this could have been causing problems for us. If you enable global vehicle traffic, the following items will be in conflict with, thus will be disabled. Cancel. So something. So what? Do we have another one that's already? We have another one that's already active. See, I had that enabled this morning, so that could have been causing issues, you know? Yeah, I don't see another one. There's no other global vehicle traffic. Yeah. All right, so yeah, we're not gonna enable that, right? Because that's just gonna cause problems. Yeah, I got a lot, Shad. I had like I said, I loved the game, dude. Like I loved 2020. I wanted the most realistic, you know. I wanted the most out of it. All right, so we need to go, okay, the Globe Hawk, the nameplates, okay. So this is unverified, but we're gonna look at what this did anyways. All right, so basically what this did, all right, so all of the in-game traffic for Flight Simulator 2020, which was enabled this morning. I had all this because it all automatically enabled, you know? So basically what this did is the in-game live traffic before this mod would be a random plane with a random skin. So it would say in the game that it was an American Airlines flight, but it wasn't the plane that it was supposed to be, and it wasn't the livery that it was supposed to be. It was like just some random generic whatever. So this mod basically said, okay, now it's going to be the actual plane model that the live traffic is tracking in real life, and it's going to be the correct livery and paint job, which was really, really cool, you know? But it's saying that it's unverified, so we're not going to do that. All right, global marine traffic. We already looked at that and it said it was a no-go. That's unverified, so it's a no-go. That's a no-go. Jacksonville Knights Enhanced is unverified, so it's a no-go. Unverified. So Daytona Beach International Airport. Let's see. It says that it's good. Let's enable it. Because enabling all of this gives you the correct sim. Like I showed you earlier, all of the parking spots in Miami were a generic, 1 through a 100. When you enable the custom airports, it actually classifies the parking spaces for the size plane that they're supposed to be in. And when you land there and ask ATC to taxi to the gates, they actually give you the actual gate. Thing is you don't want to follow the blue line because the blue line will not take you. But when you get to the actual gate, there'll be somebody there, saying, okay, come on in, land at this airport, all right, but this is where you stop. So that's a little cool feature that I like to have. So that's what we're going to do. It's taking a while. It didn't like doing it. It didn't like doing it earlier today. Like the other one, it took a minute for it to enable. So once we enable it, we're going to make sure we go and download it so it's not trying to stream it. There it goes, 96, 97. I have a lot of the East Coast stuff, like the import. Now, some of the airports are automatically finished in the game. Like Microsoft said, okay, we're going to do this many airports modeled and finished, you know? So those you can always count on to be good. I don't know which ones exactly they are, but basically this gives me a lot of the East Coast of the United States. And you can get it for, like, if you live in the UK and you like the game and you like playing it, you can, there's some in the UK that are automatically finished by Microsoft, and then the rest are all generic. So you have to, if there's a certain airport that you want in the UK or in Africa or in the Middle East or in China or in Japan, you have to actually go purchase the finished airport, which I did for a lot of the East Coast items. All right, so Key West. So I own 2 Key West now. Now here's the thing. I bought one and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then they came out with this one, I believe, which was better. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, this is the good one. So like they finished the airport and some of the surrounding area for you. Yeah, they even gave you like Fort Jefferson, which is like 80 miles from the airport. It like did a whole, yeah, it did a whole, like they did a lot, you know. But it even gives you like that. It gives you the guy in the control tower. It gives you finished control towers, all of the, it like the insides of the hangars. So that's the one we're gonna, it did the nighttime enhancements. So that's the one we're gonna do. We're not gonna do the old one. And I did have both of them enabled this morning, so that could have been causing issues. All right, so that's what we'll do. We'll do Key West. Wait, what happened? All right, so I can't do Jacksonville. It's unverified. That's one of my favorite ones too. That's like a Florida stop, but it's unverified. It was enabled this morning, so maybe that was something that could have been causing issues too. All right. I thought we already did Lakeland. I think this was a second Lakeland, right? We already, yeah, because I this one wasn't as good as the other one. So let's leave that disabled. We'll do Memphis International. Let's do Memphis International. Actually, we can click on a few of these at a time. Marathon Key, see, it's unverified, so we're not going to do it. Louisville is good to go. Seattle's good to go. Landmarks of Germany. Why not? Landmarks of the Panama Canal. Now, this one is dope. Wait, let's see if everything's see, nope, can't do it. It's unverified. This thing is dope though, dude. Like, it lights up the strip of, like, it totally redid Vegas. So you could fly like a Pitts Avionics special down the strip, you know, in between the buildings, and you could see like the street signs and all the lights and the billboard. Like, they got like motion billboards that show you like live pictures and stuff. It was really, really good. All right, so this airport, the whole reason why I got this one was because this is where the original, and I believe Azobo Studios. So these are the people who build Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is the airport next to their studio. So in Flight Simulator 2020, you could get a special achievement by flying from this airport to the airport in Seattle, Washington. I attempted it a few times, but the game was so buggy I could never get the achievement because you had to do it perfect, gate to gate, and everything else. So, but it says it's ready to go, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Did we do Miami? Yeah, Miami. I want to look at this real quick. Oh, it won't let us. Okay. Okay, so the Long Island bridges is good. Miami region and water fixes is good. See, there's the old Pingling that's permanently incompatible, so I don't have that one. Unverified New York City Times we do want. Niagara Falls. Basically, this cleaned up Niagara Falls area over in New York and Canada. But that's from 2020 and it's unverified, so it's no good, so we can't do it. Not concerned with that because 2024 lets you customize your pilots. Basically, this one lets you customize your pilots for 2020, but you can customize them automatically as part of 2024, so we don't need to do that. All right, let's see what we got in here. And it's all unverified, so we're not going to do any of that. We're not going to do any of that. And see, all of this was all enabled yesterday. So I just disabled it this morning. All right, so this one, even though it says that it's okay, but Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 already fixed all the tree stuff. So you don't need to add that. That's unverified. I don't care about boats. I care about things working. Now, this was cool. All right, Storm, but it's not compatible and it's not going to be compatible. So this let you go inside of super detailed hurricanes that happened in real life. So like you were able to fly through Katrina, Hurricane Andrew. Like it basically gave you a different bunch of storm scenarios where you would go and fly around inside the hurricane, but it's not compatible and you can't do it. So what is this one? It says that it's working and there's no issues, so we'll turn it on. And traffic in sight is good, so we'll turn that on. VFR objects Los Angeles, we'll turn that on. And that's it. All right, let's enable all of that and then okay. Miami and region water fix, it would cause conflicts. No, let's not do that. VFR objects Los Angeles, the following items will be in conflict. Let's cancel that. All right, so there we go. We've got everything. Well, they did that because the community complained, Shadow. They were like, look, you just had us buy all of this stuff for 2020. And now you're saying here's 2024. And now you're going to try to make us buy all this stuff again. You know? So Microsoft said, okay, as long as the people who made it can make it compatible, we'll give it to you for free. So you don't have to pay for it again. So that's why a lot of it you see is like, oh, okay, well, all right. So we got to go back through and download all the stuff that says streamed. All right, that's ready to install. We got to wait, though. We don't want to install it yet. We want to get everything downloaded and then install it. So now we need to find that says everything that says that it's streamed. Wait, this says unverified. Oh no, we don't want this. Okay, this gets disabled. All right, I think that's it. All right, so that's it. We've got everything. I do need to, once one of these packs, because I didn't realize it, I forget which one it was. I think it was this one. This one. I think this had, no, that has all the, okay, that's for this pack. Okay, all right, that stuff is all good. All right. So I got to, I'm looking for the one that's 2020 like that. That's 2024. This one needs to go. It's all unverified. See, it's all 2020 unverified. So this needs to go once it finishes installing. I need to disable it actually and make sure it doesn't install. Because it's all planes that I'll never fly, you know? It's like all old school planes and stuff. So all of that needs to go. If it's not verified, we don't want it. So after that's done, I'm actually going to come back and disable all of that. Let's check this standard aviator. That's all verified. We already checked that. Okay, yep. That's all verified. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now all this was free. All like not all of this is paid for. A lot of it is free. Like these were all updates done by Microsoft. So all of that was free. This content I paid for, but like the livery packs were like $5. You know what I'm saying? Most of the airports, and then you can get them on deal. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the airports were like $14, but then you could wait till Black Friday or, you know, something like that. And the marketplace would be selling them for half off, you know? So I did a lot of that. Like I got a lot of deals on the stuff that I did get. All right, so this says ready to install, but it's all unverified. So here's what we're going to do with that. Disabled. There we go. So that problem just got solved. All right, let's check this one. It says they're ready to install, and they're all unverified. So we don't want that. So we'll click on it. Cancel. Continue. We'll click on it again and disable. There we go. So that should solve a lot of problems there. Let's see. This has a drop down, but it hasn't downloaded yet. But so, okay, we need to come back later on because we can't. Can we cancel it now? Cancel. Continue. There we go. Now let's click on it again. See, yeah, you got to wait. Like it's too late for some reason. It won't let us cancel it. This one too. This one's going to need to be uninstalled. That's good. That's good. That's good. So yeah, I think we've got everything downloading now, right? Nothing says streamed anymore. That's ready to install. Ready to install. Ready to install. All right. So we're where we need to be. So I'm going to let all this stuff in install today. And then I'll come back tomorrow and we'll start working on optimization. So we'll be doing part 2 of this tomorrow. So I'd like to thank everybody who stayed and watched and is going through the process with us to figure this all out and get the flight sim working at 100% optimization. So we're getting everything installed now. It's not going to be streamed anymore. We've disabled all of the unverified and permanently incompatible software for 2024. So all of this is no longer going to affect us because everything was enabled for some reason. I think it just automatically came enabled if they added it like that. So we've disabled it all. We're installing everything that is verified, and we're going to download it directly onto the hard drive instead of streaming it to see if that fixes some of the bugs that we were dealing with in the game. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time. I'm going to send you guys out with some music, I think. Which song do I want to play? Which song do I want to play? It's not here. Is this not the right list? Did I go to the wrong list? There it is. All right. Yep. We'll see you guys later.